See those right there? The Arm& Hammer Tide Pods. That's called a mid-afternoon snack for Broncos fans this year. Welcome back, dudes. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I know I'm a little bit late on this video considering the Rams and the Broncos played almost 2 weeks ago now, I think. But the Broncos, Russell Wilson had the worst game of his career against the Rams 2 weeks ago on Christmas. I wasn't expecting much because he's been pretty bad all year, but that was just a new level of awful. And I'm going to compare this game to one of his better games that he played, I think this was 2 years ago, against the Cowboys when he was on the Seahawks, and see what is the difference. Why has Russell Wilson regressed so much this year? And I guess, is it fixable? Can Chef Russ be cooking again? We'll find out. All right, first play from Russ. I took these notes legit 3 weeks, after this game happened, and I just haven't made a video on it yet. So, all right, this play, I think this is called a scissors concept. This is the shit that they used to do with Tyler Lockett all the time. They'd have this would be Tyler Lockett right here, and he'd kind of run like an option vertical. So he'd go vertical, and then he can kind of pick, take a safety on one-on-one, and then kind of pick what direction he wants to go. And they were so good at running this play with Russ, and I'm glad they're kind of introducing it into their offense. But here it does not work, okay? They have that gets covered up, and then they have Courtland Sutton on the crosser, and then I think they just have a bunch of shit underneath. I don't really know who's running where, but it's something along those lines. And I can't see what Jerry Jeudy's doing. Maybe he just doesn't win on his route. He seems like he's one-on-one when the video plays, but Russ looks him off and works to cut Courtland Sutton, which is, that's just the wrong throw, man. There is just everyone around, there's just nowhere to fit this ball in. So, not a great play by Russ. It's honestly a horrible throw. But if you watch, as he's throwing this ball, pretty much, I know it's 3rd and 9 and you're trying to make a play, your Christmas Day, you want to make some big plays, but just get it to your playmakers, let them make a play. I know your playmakers have kind of let you down this year, but still, let them try to get 9 yards. I think if they throw it to one of them, it's a good chance that he gets a first down on this play. But instead, he tries to throw the deep ball, and it does not work out. All right, next play. I believe this is. I think this is his next throw. Not just the next play I'm looking at, but this is the next time he throws the football. And he throws a pick here. We got curl flat concept. I'm probably gonna mess up who runs what route, but the concepts stay the same. Curl flat. Good stuff. Very easy play. I love it. One of the simplest plays in football, still effective. Russ fucks up, obviously. Throws an interception here, so that's obvious. But this right here is your alert route. All right? So if he sees that, these linebackers are blitzing, or if they just wildly split out, like Bobby Wagner sprints out this way, this dude runs out this way, and it's wide open, then he throws it quickly. This is something that if it's not open on your the first step of your drop, then you just don't throw it, and you start to work towards one of these curls over here, one of these curl flat concepts. And Russell Wilson makes the mistake of not looking at this alert first. You can see his eyes. He looks at this curl flat first, which is the wrong read, but still, you can make it work. It's fine if you don't throw the alert, because the alert wasn't there, obviously. But he looks to the curl flat first, and if you make that mistake and you skip over the alert, you can't work back to the alert. You have to then go to your concept and just read your concept like normal. And if you would have just, thrown the curl flat that he was looking at, both these guys are open. All right, they play my favorite curl flat defense as a quarterback, and that is cover neither the curl nor the flat, and just stand by the inspire sign. Maybe he was trying to inspire Bobby Wagner to pick off that ball, but he's got both these guys open. Throw it to one of them. I don't know. Fucking, you threw it to the only guy you couldn't throw it to on that was running a route, and obviously picked off, and his old teammate takes it back to the 10. So all right, so. I'm not going to put all of this on Russ. It was a very, very bad game from him. But from, a season standpoint, the team around him has just done horrendously. The coaching has been so bad. This here is, a quick stick concept on both sides. You got a stick You got to stick in and out. Oh, my God. I ate way too much food. I think I might throw up. Problem here is that Cortland Sutton fucks up, and he runs the speed out as well. And Russ was trying to throw down here first. This is a quick game concept, so you kind of just pick a side, go with it. Obviously, you have two routes, two of the same route in the same area, which is not good when you're on offense. And Russ just has to try to do something with it. Now, I will say, with his in his Seattle days, he probably escapes this, right? I mean, he's still athletic. He's still very, very athletic, but he's lost a little bit of that burst. I don't think it's enough to affect like a lot of his game, but he's lost a little bit of that burst. He probably escapes that and at least throws it away in his Seattle days, but obviously gets sacked there. And then this was probably one of the worst football plays I've seen in my entire life. Like, this is bad. This is really bad. So I'm not even going to bother like going through the concept here. I think we all know what I'm going to point out, and that's fucking run the ball, dude. Like, they showed like the end zone copy in the broadcast. They don't have it in this highlight tape, so I can't show it to you. But he has a shit, because this guy ends up going this way, and there's another corner over here that splits off this way. He has like a straight shot for at least 20 yards. And if, he makes someone miss maybe a little bit more. And he decides to throw it up in double coverage to his rookie tight end against Jalen Ramsey. I mean, I know the season was over when I was watching this game. So I was, more focused on getting drunk than I was actually watching football. But I screamed at the TV when this happened. With my family all around me around the Christmas tree, I screamed at the TV. So we took a look at Russ. With the Broncos nowadays, doing his best Johnny Manziel with the Browns impression. But now let's look back 2 years. 2 years ago, 2020, Russ is in the middle of, I think he has like 40 touchdowns and like 11 interceptions at the end of this year. So very good season. This game, he throws for like 5 touchdowns, 300 something yards, has like a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter. Very good game from him. And I'm going to point out some key differences in what they do. And some of it's schematics. Some of it is just him being a better player, obviously. Obviously, DK Metcalf, I completely forgot about this play when I was watching it. But one of the things I liked about this, and to be fair, I don't know if the Broncos can do this because their offensive line has just been a fucking rotating door of players. It has been horrendously bad. Like, Russ is scrambling for his life a lot of the time. And, I know he's known for holding on the ball for too long. He doesn't get a chance to hold on the ball for too long with the Broncos offensive line. It is fucking awful. But one thing I like about this is that they give Russ a really deep drop back, right? He gets a little 5-step drop out of shotgun. He's like, 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And that helps with a couple of things. First of all, it buys him more time because he's farther away from the defenders. Second of all, I mean, he is a shorter quarterback. Now, I think the whole, seeing over offensive linemen thing is kind of overplayed when it comes to shorter quarterbacks. The average offensive lineman in the NFL is like 6'4", so their helmet, with a helmet on top, it's like 6'5". Unless you're like 6'7", you don't really see over offensive linemen in the NFL. Some quarterbacks are just better at finding viewing and passing lanes, and that's one of the most difficult things of playing quarterback. And that's something that it took me a while in high school to kind of figure out how to do is maneuver the pocket so that you can see between linemen, because unless you're a tall motherfucker, you don't really see over offensive linemen. You have to find viewing lanes, and getting 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage really gives Russ a better chance to find viewing lanes, because he's not the best when it comes to pocket manipulation and working in a very tight pocket. He's a lot better when he has a lot of space to operate with. And so that's something that, again, I don't know if the Broncos could do this because their offensive line is so bad that, when you get that deep drop back, you got to worry about, the DNs are taking easier angles at the quarterbacks. So I don't know if the Broncos could do this, but this deep drop back, give him some time, and obviously throwing dimes downfield. Also, I don't know if I know going into the season, I was so excited to see Cortland Sutton, run those deep routes and be like a DK Metcalf kind of player. I've realized that he just doesn't win. He doesn't get separation on routes. He kind of just wins with his body. He kind of just bodies receivers up. I think we just overrated this Broncos receiving core a lot. I mean, I think Jerry Jeudy's very good, but he doesn't fit very well with what Russ wants to do. He's a lot more of a timing, quick throw, like route technician kind of player. Whereas DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett were very good at being like, all right, let's just send him downfield really far, let him get a little bit of separation, and let Russ do what Russ does, and just chuck the ball 70 yards downfield. Holy fuck! I just said like 10 billion words there. What is this? Okay, so this is the quick. So going back to that curl concept that we saw with the Broncos game, that was an example of like kind of a quickish game concept where Russ obviously doesn't have the confidence, doesn't throw it on time, throws it to the wrong receiver, doesn't make his reads properly. This is an example of, I mean, Russ has never been a great quick game quarterback, but he's been competent enough to where he can be elite as a quarterback by having an elite deep ball and a competent quick game. Here's just him being like confident, you know, he hits DK on time. He looks left, doesn't like what he sees, comes back to the right, throws that hitch route with DK. Like you don't see much of this with Russ this year. And this is not something that declines with age. Like usually your quick game becomes more prominent as you get older. So it's very weird to see him kind of lose confidence when it comes to throwing these quick game routes. He just hasn't been as good this year. All right, what is this play? This is him just. This is the Seahawks just getting Russ on the move. Once again, like he works a lot better when he's in open space. He doesn't have he's not in a very tight pocket. He's in a lot of open space. You know, I know the mantra was we got to let Russ cook. When he was in Seattle, everyone was saying that. But like this is Russ cooking. Like this is what he does. You know, like this is what he's really good at. So I guess this whole time he's just been cooking. But they have the little play action. Roll him out, let him use his feet, buy a little bit of time, hit a guy who is kind of playing out of structure a bit. It's something I want to see the Broncos do more of this. I want to see them, let Russ get into open field a lot more as compared to having him play in very tight pockets. And once again, that requires you to have a pretty solid run game, which I think the Broncos have had 2 runs over 20 yards this year so far. So that play action bootleg kind of stuff is probably not going to be as successful when you can't run the ball. All right, last play here. It's just him staying in the pocket. You know, the line is giving him time, but also, I mean, I know these little movements that he's making don't look like much, but it helps kind of set up blockers and or keep like his linemen between him and the defenders. It doesn't look like much, but it does make it way more difficult on the D ends and the D linemen to get to him when he's making these little movements. And so I'm going to kind of boil Russ's problems down to 2, possibly 3 main things. The one that I'm kind of iffy on is he has gotten, he's lost a little bit of that burst. Like he still can hit like the top speed that he used to. He's still a fast player and he's still very athletic. He lost a little bit of that burst though. And I don't think it affects his game that much. Maybe there's like 1 or 2 more plays per game that he would make if he was a little bit quicker. But I don't think it affects his actual overall game that much. Also, I just don't think he's necessarily in the right scheme. They have him running a lot more shorter dropbacks, which might be indicative of the offensive line just being horrendous this year. They're trying to run more quick game with him, which, again, he's never been an elite quick game quarterback, but he has been competent, and he has just not been competent in the quick game this year. A lot less movement. And also, I just don't think the wide receivers are a great fit. Now, I know everyone was saying, oh, like Russ has actually been bad this whole time, and Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are making him look good because they're so amazing. I think Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf were just the perfect fit for Russ, right? I mean, if you put Tom Brady in this Seattle offense, he just wouldn't have the same success that Russ had because Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf were just, athletic freaks who, if Russ can buy, 5 seconds in the pocket, they can, get 3 yards of separation, 60 yards downfield, and then Russ could just throw him a dot, 65 yards downfield. And Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton just aren't really that. Courtland Sutton is, I honestly, at this point, I think he's kind of overrated. I think he's kind of just a slightly above average receiver. He's just really good at bodying up players. He kind of succeeds when he's running those like curls and hitches where he can kind of box out the defender. And Jerry Jeudy's more of a route technician where he would be really good with a player like a quarterback like Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers who who just slings it to receivers on time. He makes a crisp cut with his route and the ball's in his hands. That's just not what Russ does best. So I maybe the scheme around him is not that great. But I'm not going to blame all of this on everything but Russ. Like, yes, this is a little bit of copium from a Broncos fan here, but he has completely lost his confidence as a player. This is something that, it's very important as a quarterback to have a lot of confidence, and he has clearly lost a lot of it this year. We'll see if he brings it back next year. I mean, he still has the same zip on the ball he used to. He lost a little bit of athleticism, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference. It really boils down to he just doesn't look comfortable in the system he's out there, as well as he just doesn't have the confidence that he used to. So I don't know. I hope he can turn it around because I can't do another year of this this goddamn Broncos team. I shit you not, I think it was after like the Titans game or something, I spent like a good hour staring at a Von Miller Bills jersey. Like, do I just get the damn jersey? But you know what? I'll stick with it. I have to watch him play again tomorrow, so I don't know. That's all I got.